Hi, my name is Rick Sanchez. I'm with a company called Tractor Tip, and what we have for sale here today is a JCB 436 HT. We're going to talk a little bit about the mechanics of this particular machine in the first clip, the operating specs in the second, we run it in the third. Actually in the fourth video, it's been raining a lot here in Texas, and we had this machine out on a job site and it was loading trucks, and it was probably the worst possible loading conditions for a machine because the machine was in a mud hole. But anyway, we'll include that in this clip so you can see the machine is, there's nothing wrong with it. So price on a new machine like this these days is about $195,000. As far as manufacturers go, I've heard it said that JCB sells more units than any other manufacturer of heavy construction equipment, and of course they sell a lot of smaller stuff. So a price on a new machine like this is about $195,000. Like I say, JCB is fairly well known out there. This particular machine weighs 36,000 pounds. The widest point with this, but not including this bucket, these tires right here, it's 8'6" wide with the tires. This bucket, if the bucket's on the machine, this bucket is 8'9" wide. The highest point is the top of that cab at 11 foot. The transportation length from the back of that counterweight to the front of that bucket is 23 feet. I forgot to open this up. These hoods are pretty easy to open. They're heavy, but they've got a gas struts on them. As far as the history of this unit goes, this machine, like all the machines we purchase, is an original owner Dallas, Texas machine with no rust. We're far enough south and 300 miles from the ocean, so the only salt we see is the salt on our kitchen tables. You'll notice on this machine there is no rust on it whatsoever. You know, a lot of the loaders from up north or anything north of what we call the Red River, you got rust. This machine has no rust. It's a good Texas machine. It's lived all its life here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It comes from a large contractor here in the DFW that had a comprehensive maintenance program that rivals some of the best I've seen. We, as well as all of our customers, have been extremely happy with all the machines that we purchase from these guys, and it should be said that before I buy any machine, my mechanics thoroughly inspect it, and if the money's right, then I go out and inspect it before I write a check. As far as options go, this machine has got a battery disconnect. It's got a battery disconnect switch, so if you gonna have the machine setting for a while, you can disconnect the batteries so it won't drain. It's got a hydraulic fan, which makes it easy to clean. It's got a I don't even know what you call that because we never have ice over here in Dallas. I guess it's a an engine warmer or an engine preheater. We don't use those here in Dallas, but might come in handy up north. It's got a oh well, obviously it's got a quick coupler. This machine is inherently, you know, all loaders are four-wheel drive. This machine's four-wheel drive. It comes with a bucket, a set of forks, and a jib there. You know, it's also got parallel lift capabilities so that your bucket won't have a natural roll to it. The forks will lift parallel to the ground. It's got a, I don't know if you can see it from down here. We'll show it to you a little better in the cab. It's got a remote, a forward and reverse switch at the joystick. Oh, it's got a 12-volt outlet in the cab, which is kind of handy when you're plugging in your, I'll get that later. As far as the engine goes, this has got a JCB BTA A59C JCB engine. It's a net horsepower of 173, a gross horsepower of 177. It's a 61-gallon fuel tank, which will run you 12 to 16 hours of run time on a single tank of fuel. All the fluid levels are where they should be. This machine is mechanically sound. Everything on it works. The transmission runs through all the gears without hesitation. Top speed in forward is 24 miles an hour. In reverse it's 16. These tires, as you can see, I'd rate them probably about 40%. They don't have any cuts. They're 20.5 25s. They're probably a little better than 40%. The hydraulics are strong. There's no cracks or welds anywhere in the work equipment. All of the pins and the bushings are relatively tight. There's very little or almost no deflection in that kingpin area right there. This cutting edge is probably about 60%. As far as this bucket goes, the width of this bucket is 8 foot 9 inches. The mouth of the bucket from the top to the bottom is 4 foot 4 inches, and the depth is 40 inches. It's a 3.4 cubic yard bucket. There's a decal on the other side there. The breakout force of this loader is 33,000 pounds. The lifting capacity is 22,600 pounds. With a loader, the lifting capacity is limited by its static tip load, which simply stated the hydraulics on this machine are so powerful that the machine will actually tip forward before the hydraulics give out. So the lifting capacity is limited by the weight of the unit, which in this case is 22,600 pounds. As far as these forks go, these forks are 20 inches high. The carriage width is 60 inches, and these tines are 4 foot 8 inches. They're just short of a 60-inch set of forks. This jib is rated at a 4,000 pound jib. From the face of that jib to this point, to the lifting eye right here, is 7 feet. And of course this thing telescopes out, so you're probably looking at, it's got little lock pins right there. So it'll probably telescope out about 12, 13 feet. Like I say, it's a 4,000 pound jib. We're going to run this machine in the next clip. Or this lock pin, this is actually the lock pin for the bolt for this jib. We took it out because we were going to extend it, but I don't know if I'm going to do that just right now. Alright, so this is the inside of the cab. You got switches here. Joystick controls. These are lights, windshield wipers. That has something to do with your steerings. You got additional work lights up here. That's where your radio would go. All the lights dash out. All the lights work. There's no error codes. This is your AC. Well, I know you can't feel that, but it's 90 degrees here in Dallas, Texas right now, and that's blowing pretty cold. So there's your 12-volt outlet. This is your fan switch right here. Your heater and it's to recirculate the air. And this is the seat. Pretty roomy cab, actually. Probably one of the bigger cabs that I've been in.
Oh, we forgot to mention that this JCB loader has auxiliary hydraulics.